Hi, welcome to EV Adventures. I'm Rob. Well, this is an update on the LUCID Destroyed video. Whenever a LUCID or any other car is destroyed, of course, first thing you want to do is put it back together. And so I wanted to tell you a little bit of the journey so far. It's been a little over 2 weeks since the skies opened up and destroyed a lot of the sheet metal and all of the glass on top and such of my LUCID Air Grand Touring. It has been for a little over a week at Gold Coast Auto Body in Chicago, and that was the recommendation of LUCID at their Goose Island facility in Chicago, and I went with it, and I'm very glad I did. They've been very communicative with me, and so had the car trucked to Chicago, and the body shop has told me that since the LUCID is so new, there are no computer algorithms to dictate what parts need to be replaced, etc. Basically, with a car that's had a car brand that's had accident experience, body shops will know and have software to calculate not only what they can see that is wrong with the car, but the underlying things that are often damaged also when the visible part is damaged. Not so for LUCID. So for example, the glass canopy and the glass over the rear seat and the rear glass, just replacing that, just actually not replacing it, but just calculating replacement for that, involved 200 pages of procedures. And so estimators at the body shop had to, by hand, go through those 200 pages of procedures, calculate everything they could think of from those procedures that might need to be replaced, and make the estimate from there. Now, there's a cost, of course, as there should be, for people to go through that, and so that's as I said, as it should be. The estimators so far have found that, and you'll see in the background some video of the LUCID's damage and that sort of thing. I talked to the manager in charge of my situation at Gold Coast Auto Body in Chicago, and he told me that they weren't finished estimating damage, but the damage based on what they could see, which isn't all of it, is about $43,000 and likely to climb. Here's some thoughts, and I'd really like your feedback on these things. So get your typing fingers ready and send me anything you have in mind. Because I'm quite sure that I haven't thought of everything here. But here's some of my thoughts. This is a new car. Out of the period of time that I've owned it, since mid-June, I've had it for about 6 weeks. As those of you who follow my channel may know, it needed to have a drive battery replacement, and when they were doing that, they found that it needed a rear motor replacement. Very glad for LUCID being able to do that, and so it was gone for a period of time for that. Got it back, and not long after that, hailstorm And I was lucky to be able to drive it home, let alone drive it at all after that. So, new car. This amount of damage, and at the very least, it sounds like it will be $50,000 in damage. That will most certainly lower the resale value of the car, lower the intrinsic value of this investment that was ballpark $150,000 altogether, or even just factory price. I paid $138,000 plus shipping and tax and that sort of thing, so 145. So that's that. What compensation is there for that? That's a question. Is that decrease in value included in the consideration of what damage was done to the car? Is that part of the damage, so to speak? The next thing, how close to factory specifications can they make this car? What I've said to them, and I know I'm picky, but that's okay. It's a new car, and it's externally at least pretty much destroyed. And what I've said is, if you can't make it perfect, I don't want it back. And so anyway, another thought, Zenith Red is the color. It's a complex color. It has, as I understand it, a tinted clear coat, at least one, maybe a couple of different tints of clear coat. Difficult to do. Now, this particular body shop is trained by LUCID, approved by LUCID, and so if anybody could do it, it would be them. But my experience is, if even one little part of the car does not need to be painted, there is, even if there's not a matching issue, there's a weathering issue. So over time, paint applied in a different way at a different place is going to weather differently. Since the glass overhead was all destroyed, the camera setup in the windshield will have to be removed, as will the line carrying, the trim carrying the wiring for that. Anyway, all of the sensors will need, because so many body panels will need to be replaced, all of the sensors will need to be recalibrated. That's a cost. And then concern, is that recalibration going to be correct? Another thing is, with the supply chain difficulties that we've been having for a couple of years, 18 months, whatever, how long is it going to take to, even if they work diligently day after day on this car, how long is it going to take to get the parts necessary? We ran into some slowdowns with the drive battery and rear motor, but overall wasn't bad. So it's a question. But it sounds to me, and speaking to the body shop, they have a couple of other Lucids, I don't know what they're there for, but that have been sitting for a period of time simply because they can't get the parts. And so we will, so it is Labor Day weekend right now, so first part of September, October, November, December, say it takes 4 months, we're into, and I think it would probably take more like 6, we're into the 23 model year. So now it's a model year old, which decreases the value even further. I want to know your thoughts. What would you do number one. What actions would you take? What things are there that you might not be hearing me say I'm going to do that you would do? Really want to know. Would you be able to accept the car back? And if not, what would you do? Would you have it repaired and sell it? Would you argue with the insurance company? Which oftentimes, I mean, they're used to people arguing with them, not wanting to accept their verdict on things. So anyway, an idea, please comment. If the insurance company wants to fix it, and this goes back a little bit to the last question, what would you do? I'll keep you updated about the process, and they keep me updated, so I'll keep letting you guys know what's going on. So that's about the Lucid. I'm sitting in our Tesla Model S long range 2022. We have a road trip to Colorado planned. I was going to take the Lucid, but things being what they are, we're taking the Tesla. And that'll be a great opportunity. We'll drive across half of Iowa, all of Nebraska, and really all of Colorado, because we're going to the far side of the Rockies. So we'll drive across the Rockies. We'll see how the charging infrastructure is, and see some pretty scenery, and we'll make sure and take pictures of that for you. But ride along with us. That'll be a fun trip, and we'll get some fun insights. The Tesla, you know, Tesla's had 10 years to really get their stuff together, and I find the navigation to be just excellent. The entertainment system is wonderful, and so I think, you know, the seats, in honesty, the seats aren't as comfortable to me as those in the Lucid, but they're comfortable. And especially now that they have cooling, that helps. And so I ask you to ride along across Iowa, Nebraska, and over the Rockies, and let's have some fun. This is a wonderful time to be in the Rockies. It's pretty. Thanks for watching. Join me for another Lucid Destroyed update. Watch for that for me. And consider joining our merry band by subscribing or liking this video. And we'll look forward to seeing you again soon. Take care.